Scrappy friends, a big welcome to my channel once again today. It's been a bit busy over here the last few days. This share today is for Cut to You, and as you saw at the beginning of the video, I'm actually playing with 3 different cut files here. So the first one is this Chasing Rainbows, which has got the rainbow with the clouds and the sun and the title Chasing Rainbows. And then this one that I've cut on this craft coloured cardstock, which I really don't like, which is why I've used it, is from the Summer Builder cut file. So I've just used the clouds and just used, I can't remember if I used the internal line or the external line and deleted the other, but it's one or the other. And then for my rainbow that you'll see in a minute, I have used the Sunshine Rainbows cut file. I've got a piece of textured cardstock here. It's actually like a cream colour. I thought that worked better with the collection that I'm using, which is the Jen Hadfield Reaching Out collection, which I just think is super cute and super fun. In hindsight, with my mixed media, I wish I had gone a little bit heavier handed and made a decision a bit sooner about my background and how exactly it was going to look. I do love how it turned out. I do kind of wish it was a little bit less perfect though, because it's very neat, and you do see me trying to make it more kind of watercolory and more what you would expect, I guess, to see on a page of mine. But I really do like how this turned out in the end. So hindsight is a wonderful thing. And yeah, I would have just gone a bit heavier handed on my clouds and my rainbow in order to have made my colours move a bit more. So what I've done here is created stencils with some cardstock that I don't like from my stash. And you can see I'll cut them down to, I think, 3x3 squares. And I placed everything on my background to work out where I wanted to do my stenciling. And then I kind of slip these little stencils in underneath. I'm using Distress Oxides for all of my mixed media for this today, except for my white splatters. But I've got Pumice Stone, Stormy Sky, I think, and Hickory Smoke for my clouds. And you can see I've just stenciled 3 in. I'm like, okay, I want a couple more. I'm going to, so I also cut some masks with some masking paper using exactly the same cut file, and they're just off to the side, and I'm going to pop those straight over where the clouds are that I've already stenciled on to come back in with some more clouds. So it looks like there are some sitting behind and some in front. So that's exactly what I'm working on here. I don't make you watch all of this because it's the same process over and over again, and my head gets in the way a fair bit. But I'm just taping my stencil down and then using my little mask and going back over it again. Well, not going back over it again, but doing some more stencil work to get the colour onto the background. And like I said, I really love how this turned out. It is just very, very neat and clean for me. I do get a little bit of the watercolory stuff going on, but that's okay. So once I've got all my clouds on my background, the second lot of clouds, I went back in and I used my mask to cover those up because I wanted my rainbow to be behind my clouds. And I figured that this was going to be the easiest way for me to do that. Like I said, I had cut this one from another cut, from a third cut file. And again, I'll just use that same craft cardstock. I have picked Distress Oxide colours that work very well with the rainbow in the cut file that I've backed. So using the 6x8 paper pad from the Reaching Out collection. So I've gone with like red, yellow, green and blue. So red, pink. I'm using Tattered Rose. And you can see I'm just using my blender brush here, adding the colour on. I'm not being too 100% precise with the how much colour I'm applying, because I'm kind of trying to give the idea of a bit of a stormy sky, kind of. So you don't get perfectly defined rays of a rainbow. I've kept the parts that were cut out, and I'm just going to place those back in. You can see I've put in the other pieces from the rest of the rainbow. So you can see I've gone a bit heavier handed with the yellow, and the yellow is the one colour that I do get to move more than the rest, and I think it is because I've gone in a bit heavier handed with it. It's more saturated. That is fossilized amber, I think. I'll just check. Yeah, fossilized amber. My green is bundled sage, and then my blue is faded jeans. So the big reveal, I've done my rainbow. I'm peeling off my masks here, and I really like how it looks like they are all behind this rainbow. A lot of this is going to be covered over anyway, which is why I didn't stress too much when I didn't get the colours to move as much as I wanted them to. And there we go. That is most of my background done. I'm going to use this as a border around my page. Seems to be a thing for me at the moment. And you can see when I place that, you lose the bottom of the rainbow. So I'm going to go back in and use my stencil once again. And I'm going to carefully apply just a little bit more colour so that it goes right the way down to the bottom edge here. Obviously the pink is not a big deal because it's covered by that cloud down the bottom. So I'm just going to add a bit more colour until the colour's fairly uniform, and I'll do that for all of the other three colours. You can see here I'm trying to get some splatters. I think also I'd left it overnight to dry or something to that effect, which was part of why it wasn't happening for me, but it's all good. I do get, like I said, a little bit of the oxidization happening, and then I dried it with a heat tool, and then after I dried it, I was like, that's not going to oxidize anymore. Alright, so I did give it a go, and at a couple of points I do really actually make my cardstock quite wet, and this cardstock was not prepared with gesso or anything, but it's held up reasonably well. I'm impressed. So you can see I'm literally going in and I'm just spraying that fairly close. I've done it in a couple of places and you can kind of see it, but you can really see it on the yellow. You can see it a little bit on the blue. Like I said, a lot of it though does get covered up. You can see it on the pink there as well. And I just got to the point where I went, you know what, I think that's the best I'm going to get. Short of going back over it, which I really can't be bothered doing. I'll just leave it as is. So white splatters with my Liquitex, no, that's not Liquitex, it is India ink, white India ink. I love this stuff. It is my favourite to do white and black splatters with. And I do just water it down just a little bit, just to make it a little bit more liquid. And I've done that. I have also gone around my border here with some rainbow thread, which I love. It looks so awesome. I'm going to stick all this together. I'm just using my Scotch tacky. And I do end up putting something heavy on this because of the warping from the paper, because of how wet I got it. It did not want to stick. There's a couple of places you can see on the left hand side where those clouds go to the edge of the paper where it just does not want to stick. But that's okay. It does in the end. You can see me trying to make it and it just doesn't want to play. Alright, so I'm going to bring back in all my main elements here. So I've got these two photos. I actually snapped them last year after school one day. That's right, it was after school one day, and I got out of my car, which it's unusual for me to drive to school. Well, it was then. And I was just like, wow, check out these rainbows. And then obviously you can see in that right hand photo there's a double rainbow. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome. I did specifically, just so you know, I did choose to put my photos this way on the page so that when they were the other way around, it looked like I had attempted to essentially stitch two photos together. It wasn't working. So that's why I've gone with them going the opposite way, because it looks like it's two separate photos at two separate times. It was only like 15 or 20 minutes or something different between the two photos, but I just feel like this works heaps better. So there's that double rainbow and then the single rainbow, or the other way around, and I just like the way that they sit on the page. I have added a layer of pattern paper behind those two photos. I've matted them as one, And then I wanted something else to kind of separate this from the background a bit more. And I pulled out this super fun acetate. It's from a Chamel collection, and it's got like a rainbow confetti of spots. It's super cute. And I've done it so that the rainbow's going horizontally. And I think it looks really cool. I'm really happy with it. Because I have got just enough room to fit everything on here, I've got to make sure things are straight. And you can see I've got my T-square and I'm moving things around, just trying to get it in the right place. I have used my foam tape from SpiegelMom Scraps. This is the fatter one. It's foam Big Mama 2, I think it's called. So I lined it all up so it was straight, and then took off a couple of the bottom ones and stuck the photo and the rainbow and clouds together. And then I have pulled up all the tape and stuck the rest of it all down onto the background. This peacock, I just had to get him in. He is just the cutest, and I was just like, no, you're going on this page. I'm going to make you work on this page. So here we go. I'm going to pop him up on some foam, and he's going to go up in the clouds there. He's so cute. I love him. And he's like eyeballing you. And yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I just really liked him. I was like, he's so cute. I love him. Just making sure that left-hand side is the right height, because there is that the thicker foam tape behind that cut file. And we've pulled out a few bits that I think I might want to embellish with. They're at the top there on the rainbow. And now I've gone onto the stickers. I love this one. It just works really well where it ends up, which is just a little bit higher than that, I think. I can't remember what it says, but it's got the word awesome in rainbow colours. What more can one ask for? Sorry for my head in this shot. And then one of the little sentiment strips below that. I'm going to add this one to the centre. Yeah, I do play with it in a few different places, but it does end up in the middle of the, just there, on some foam tape. And then my final touch is some sequins. This is the, I feel like it's Ice Cream Dream. Yes, Ice Cream Dream. I'm going to stick those down. And this is my page for today for Cut To You. Like I said, 3 different cut files. I really love how this turned out. I hope you've enjoyed. How many cut files have you got into a page? And how many different ways can you think of getting multiple cut files onto one page? Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you have. Link me to a video or a photo or something I'd love to see. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the stills. I hope you've enjoyed my video. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you have a fantastic scrappy day, and I'll see you in my next video. Oh, and 2 last things before I sign off. I will make sure I link SpiegelMom Scraps in the description box below. Make sure you use my code Melinda15 for 15% off. And the next is the next picture is a photo of the bundles that Gwen has now got in the store. So make sure you head over and check those out. Hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.